afternoon everyone. So in today's class we will discuss how a formal letter can be written in GT. Let's start reading the statement first of all. You traveled by a plane last week and your suitcase was lost. आप लास्ट ईयर एक प्लेन में ट्रैवल कर रहे थे और आपका वहाँ पे सूटकेस जो है वो गुम हो गया है. You have still heard nothing from the airline company. You have even talked to the airline company but still there was no any response from their side. So we have to write a letter to the airline company and we are supposed to follow these points only. First is explain what happened. In our letter we have to explain them what has been happened. Describe your suitcase. You will have to describe your suitcase and tell what was in it. और आपने ये बताना है कि उसमें क्या है. Find out what they are going to do about it. And then we have to write what they are going to do in it. Let's start writing. So in the very beginning we write dear sir or ma'am. Now we'll move to BP1. That is, I am writing to you regarding my suitcase. Now he says that I am writing this letter to you because he wanted to tell them about their suitcase, which was lost on British Airways flight. The suitcase was lost on British Airways flight. It was from London to New York on April 20. The suitcase was lost on British Airways flight and the flight was from London to New York and it was on 20th April. At the arrival time that I have lost my suitcase in New York. He has found that his suitcase has been lost in New York when he reached there. I reported it to the counter staff. Then he says that when he got to know that his suitcase has been lost, then he reported this to the counter staff. They promised to give me a call within the next hours. Then he says that the counter staff, they promised him that they will give him a call within the next hours. But unfortunately, this did not happen. Then he say, unfortunately, they did not give him any call. I have contacted British Airways. He says that he has contacted to the British Airways numerous means too many times, but they are not able to locate the suitcase. Locate means to find out. He says that he tried to call the British Airways too many times, still they are not able to find out his suitcase. Now in the next paragraph we will just write my suitcase is made up. First they told us to explain what happened. So in this paragraph we have written what was happened exactly, how the suitcase was lost. Now in the second paragraph they ask us to describe your suitcase and tell what was in it. Okay, now we are going to read the next paragraph. My suitcase is made up of blue fabric. He says that the suitcase, we have to write the description about the suitcase in this paragraph. So now we are writing my suitcase is made up of blue fabric with the black handle on it. He says that the suitcase is made up of blue fabric and it has a black handle on it. It contains clothes, presents for my friends. He says that the things which are inside the suitcase were clothes and the presents for his friends. Then after that he says I will visit to the friends. I will visit and some photographs, equipment which I was planning to use during my trip. He says there are a number of things in the suitcase, clothes, present for the friends and some kind of photograph equipments which he was thinking to use during the trip. I have already purchased some clothes and other required things for my daily use. He says that his suitcase has been lost, so for his own daily use he has to purchase some things just like clothes and other things which are required for him. So now at the last paragraph we have discussed these two paragraphs. Fine. Now the last paragraph which is left with us, then he says find out what they are going to do about it. Then he says I hope this matter can be resolved as early as possible. Now he says that I hope that this matter has to be resolved as early as possible because he says that about where the suitcase has been lost, the description about the suitcase. Now left with this, he says that the matter has to be resolved as early as possible because I will be able to continue my trip to California. He is in New York but he has to go to California to continue his trip and which is on 28th of April. He says that My trip is to California is on 20th of April. He says he will go to California on 20th April. After that, I will not be able to come back to New York. After going to California, he will not be able to come back to New York to get my suitcase. So, you can call me to my number if you can get any information about my suitcase. He says once I'll go to California, then I'll not be able to come back to get my suitcase. Fine. Then he says in case you find out my suitcase, you can just give me a call to my number. Okay. And at the last we'll write yours sincerely and Ramandeep Singh. This is how a formal letter can be written for GT. Thank you.